Hello, everyone. Today, we are playing a game that has the audacity to call itself new, even though it's 15 years old. This is New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS.
That's the problem with this naming convention. Everything gets old eventually.
New peanut butter. It's the same peanut butter you've eaten for 20 years, but it's new.
now it's in blurry 3D instead of 2D.
This isn't this game's fault, but I feel that the art style of New Super Mario Brothers has just been retroactively diminished at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. It's one of those, it looks worse on the screens we're using now. If you're playing it on an actual DS with its really terrible resolution, it looks a lot better there.
Yeah, it looks okay. Like, it's...
That's not even what I'm talking about.
You're talking about Grass World, Water World.
The aesthetic. Yeah, the aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic has definitely gone to shit just because they overused it too much.
I mean, to be fair, context is really important. This is the first new 2D Mario game in like 10 years at this point.
Since Mario World. Since Mario World.
Well, if you want to count Mario Land 2, which was like,
I was going to say Mario Land 2 is 93. Well, that was 92.
Yeah, so that was 14 years since an actual new.
See, an actual new. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think a lot of the problem with the new Super Mario Brothers series is simply that it's Nintendo that did it, because like most companies, you don't really bat an eye. You don't really bat an eye when they. Oh, that was unfortunate.
I know, right? Talk about getting cock blocked.
Okay, most companies, you wouldn't really care if they overdid it a little on one of their franchises. But
except unless you're Sonic.
Well, Sonic doesn't really overdo it. They just do it badly whenever they do it.
I mean, they did, but that's getting off topic.
No, I mean, when people say that Sonic is like overdoing nostalgia, what they really mean is they did it badly twice, and then they did it well once. And that's not exactly many times. So,
well, you'd argue that okay, we're really getting off topic, but it just felt like it because
let's let Lewis finish his point first, because I really want to end this.
I know what you're getting at, Ted, but really, they have like it's more in Sega's case, it's more like they played it safe too many times. But they haven't really been doing that many games, so it's kind of a different issue.
I guess
with
that's
Nintendo.
Fair, yeah.
With Nintendo, it's like you have this company that is so prone to underusing their franchises, and even when they're actually milking, in big old air quotes, a franchise, it's more likely to be something like a Mario sports game, because their actual mainline Mario games are so few and far between. And then suddenly they had this era where they were just pumping out new Super Mario Brothers like every goddamn
and new
year.
Mario Brothers clones, because DKC got 2 games in doing this.
Because this game did really well.
Yeah, this game basically saved
the
the DS, we should point out. The DS is well known as being like one of Nintendo's most popular consoles, and it's great. The DS might be my favorite console of all time, but the first 2 years there really wasn't like anything on it. And then Mario Kart DS, New Super Mario Brothers, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Brain Age, there were like 4 or 5 huge games in 2006 that really like saved the
was Nintendogs 2006?
I think so. It was close to then. But yeah, there were all of these games. I think Mario Kart DS was like late 2005. So yeah, all these games kind of came out at once and really jump-started the system's popularity. Honestly, very similar to the 3DS's story, now that I think about it.
Yes.
And made the system like skyrocketing popularity, and honestly, that's a good thing, because the DS was really, I think, Nintendo's known for being really experimental in the Wii era, so the late 2000s, early 2010s. And I'd say that some of those experiments were successful, some of them were mixed, and some of them were bad. But I would say, on the whole, the DS was more successful with its experiments, and the platform, despite being, strange with its 2 screens, lent itself more to traditional games than like the Wiimote did. Because with the Wiimote, you really can't make a normal game a lot of the time, and with the DS, you can just ignore the second screen and put a map on there or whatever.
The second screen is primarily used in most DS games as a way to offshoot the troublesome UI aspects, your maps, your inventory, your what have you.
I mean, with
which
the
is fine,
DS,
so.
with the DS, like you could go so easily from normal games to games that experimented with the two screens that when they did experiment with the two screens, it felt like a really cool novelty, you know? At worst, it felt like a really cool novelty. I can't think...
I forget, there's like a few of them, like, was it like Dusk or something, where it's like the detective game and you hold it like a book or
Hotel
something?
Dusk? Yeah, that game's really good. I mean, it's annoying having to hold it like a book because there's just not a natural way to hold it, but...
Fucking Ninja Gaiden did that too.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden made you play like a book? What?
Yeah.
That's a 2D platformer, isn't it?
On the DS.
How?
Ninja Gaiden had a game on the DS that made you hold the game like a book.
What? Okay.
I didn't like it.
Sure. But I mean, yeah, but you also still had very standard-ass games. Like, New Super Mario Brothers here doesn't really do anything fancy with the fact that it's a two-screen game. Like, I think the most it ever does is when you go underground for bonus areas, it's now on the bottom screen. Ooh.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, but, you know...
like... The point is, it's very easy to find Wii games that annoy you with motion controls. It's very difficult to find DS games that are actively annoying with their use of the two screens. So,
the only example I can think of that's not like a focused touchscreen game is Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, where like it's 90% a normal Metroidvania, and then just like at the end of boss fights they make you scribble on the screen for no reason, and I'm like,
yeah,
why do we have to do this again? But yeah, I mean, honestly, out of all 4 New Super Mario Brothers games, this is probably my favorite, even though you could objectively say that it's probably the worst one.
I wouldn't say the worst. I'd say 2 is the worst. The coin gimmick adds absolutely nothing.
I have to agree.
I'm gonna say I like the only New Super Mario Brothers game that I've actually like personally played is New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and I love that game.
That's the best one. So you know,
I love that game just fine. It did look a bit bland visually, but then again, so did most everything on the Wii. So it didn't exactly stand out with its blandness, if that makes any sense. One thing that I will give New Super Mario Brothers at this stage in its evolution is that it was actually trying to evolve still.
Yeah, and Wii honestly was like that too, and that's I think why Wii is thought about so much. Like, Wii has very different level design from other Mario games. Like, it's more kinetic.
The co-op adds a lot more to it than people give it credit for better and for worse in some regards. But
no, I can't comment on that because I never played it in co-op.
I mean, the co-op isn't great, but you have to remember that even though co-op 2D platformers are everywhere, dime a dozen now, it was still a relatively new thing. Like, a Mario-style 2D platformer with co-op. Oh my god, I hate the mini mushroom.
I like relatively new Super Mario Bros.
No, that'd be New Mario U. Relatively new.
Relatively new.
Oh man. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the mini mushroom sucks. But also like, the only way these games had ever been multiplayer in the past is the like really lame take turns kind of style, which sucks and nobody likes it. So it was really neat having a game like that be multiplayer just for the novelty.
You really need to play any of these. I think the only one that actually holds up as 4 players is Kirby Return to Dreamland.
Yeah, Kirby plays... Honestly, I think Star Allies is a better multiplayer experience because, ironically enough, because the game asks less of you. So...
I was going to say because it's pretty brain dead.
Yeah, so it makes it a better multiplayer experience because you're not, like, pushing each other into pits or arguing about shoes and other things like that. So yeah, but like, I never played the Donkey Kong Country games co-op, but that seems like it would be just a hassle because you'd get in each other's way more in those ones.
That and DK just sucks on his own.
Oh yeah, because you don't get like the hover pack from Diddy. And
kids don't care about that sort of shit though.
You'd be surprised when one character is faster and can hover versus the character who is slow and doesn't get to hover. Unless the second character jumps on their back, it means one character is just inherently better than the other.
Yeah.
I am gonna give New Super Mario Brothers specifically this New Super Mario Brothers. It handles the 3D models and 2D backgrounds thing quite a bit better than some other games I could mention, like say Sonic Rush.
Sonic Rush's problem is that it's a very busy game, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder to tell what is what, and also the pace is a lot faster. New Super, I think, that's what Nintendo was going for when they came up with this art design, is that it's clean, nothing's going to get in the way, and I think...
It's very sterile.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this was the first 2D Mario game
you can
in
do
12
it.
years.
You can do it one time.
Yeah.
So, as a player, it stays back
That's
into
only the
their-
biggest knock I have against the new series, and specifically, and again, it's not really this game's fault because this was the first one, but this was the beginning of Nintendo just blatantly reusing this aesthetic for the next few 2D Mario games.
This, along with the Wii, in a lot of regards, was the start of what I like to refer to as the bland era of Nintendo, where everything was super safe and clean and homogenized. It's like they didn't really do anything visually, audio-wise, or even in a lot of gameplay elements, all that different. Because, hey, why make something new? A new Mario Wii sells 10 million units.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, especially considering that early DS and Wii were so out there. I think that once the Wii's sales numbers started to go down, after the kind of fadness of it wore off, that they decided that they needed to go back on that hard, and they went back too far.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing people don't really realize is that, the Wii is one of their most successful systems. Yeah, because it sold amazingly well the first, 2.5 to 3 years. The last 3 years were basically dead.
Yeah, which is a shame. Also, this is the best castle theme in the series, not even close. Sorry,
I mean, it is good.
It's really, really good.
I'll always have a soft spot for Mario Worlds.
Yeah, so Mario World's still my favorite one.
I mean, you want
to be like that, huh?
It's the
All right.
same song as
This
the
theme
rest
is
of the game.
Yeah, well, this has the same aesthetic as all the other Mario games.
We're talking about the music.
New, I think not.
Okay, whatever, man. Boomer. Mario Boomer.
Boomer.
Boomer. Oh yeah, that's Boom Boom. 30 years from now.
Older.
Yeah. No, Boomer was my father.
Oh man, but yeah, it's like even this game, it's like, okay, it's the first Mario game in a long time. Going back to nostalgia makes sense. Even okay, this game's trying enough new things gameplay wise. That makes sense. And then New 2, which is the third game, which really frustrates me. It's like, coins. Okay, you're gonna do anything? Coins. You like coins, right? Isn't that Wario's thing? No, it's Mario's thing now.
Is Mario raking in the money, and it's like subtle Nintendo.
And then you came out and did nothing new.
No, there was a squirrel suit,
enjoy you,
Ryan.
though.
There's a squirrel suit. That's very new.
To me, personally, we're talking about the favorite new titles. U is my favorite because I think the Wii U did wonders for the relatively safe aesthetic and all that. I just think it's a clean looking game, and I think it was fun. Like, honest to God, did have.
It's a little too clean for my liking.
I don't care about a higher resolution when otherwise it just looks like the same game I've been playing for 10 years at that point. So, and I mean, I also have other problems with you, but that's, I guess, best saved for
The next part.
later.
Next time.